Truth. I don't like Mexicans. Irony. Who? Me? I love Mexicans. Post-truth. I like Mexican food so much I can almost not refrain from hating them. Meta-truth. I love the good Mexicans. They should all be able to go back to their families. Truth. Get the fuck out of America. When I was a teenager and I was introduced to the concept of post-irony, specifically as we entered the post-truth world we came to live in, I never thought I would see the next chapter of this saga so soon. But after the Ukraine war started and persisted, after tuning in for a broadcasted genocide for 2 years, and after Trump kidnapped Maduro, I think it is becoming clear that we are leaving meta-truth behind, and we are arriving at truth. For over 80 years, we holded on to multiple sacred ideals and ultimate truths that defined the world we lived in, and in the last 26 out of those 80 plus years, those ideals are now dead and awaiting burial.
It was first important that they should reach an agreement to stand firmly together and use this potential strength in the defense of peace.
We believed in those ideals wholeheartedly, while the rich and powerful countries systematically went against all of them, sometimes not even behind our backs, on a daily basis. Little by little, our faith in the world order was eroded, and to deal with this loss of faith while dealing with the horrors of reality, we shrouded ourselves with multiple layers of irony. But the deeper they go, the closer to the truth we got. The layers of irony are the ways through which online discourse gets propagated, a lot of the time without notice. The phenomenon started being documented about 15 years ago, but despite its chronically online character, it has always been a reflection of the real world expressed through internet stupidity, before being thrown back into reality. The first layer is the uncomfortable truth. It is hidden behind hesitation and fear. For example, a homophobic person in that layer would fear looking like a homophobe, so they'd hide their homophobia as best as they could. The irony layer is very simplistic, and that is why a lot of things here feel like a dad joke. The milk thing, the Pepe the Frog thing, the Marie Le Pen glazing is purposely ridiculous because the ridiculousness makes it easier to evoke plausible deniability, which is important at this layer. This layer is when something is said without being said. The same homophobic person in this layer would be a comedian of sorts, telling unfunny gay jokes, perhaps while affirming that they are fine with gay people in order to maintain plausible deniability. Post-truth is often when a narrative is constructed and defended. Post-truth is when the thing being said gets supported by arguments that often are considered plausible enough to be debated, platformed, conceptualized, and thus are accepted within the frames of open discourse. This is when the same homophobic person substantiates their beliefs with religious doctrine. Their beliefs go from a feeling or opinion to a conceptualized argument they can defend through the glances of upholding traditional family values and such. Meta-truth is when the narrative finishes production, and therefore the thing being said doesn't even have to be said anymore, because there's an expectation that whoever is listening is already in agreement. You are so deep into the layers that the need for new substance is exported to different subjects that at first glance have little to nothing in relation to the original subject, and as a result, the need for plausible deniability is greatly diminished. This is when the homophobe recontextualizes it and engages in that belief through a different outlet. The transgenders specifically are the focus now. They're the ones destroying traditional family values, and while not a single word about the homosexuals in particular needs to be said, the homophobe now has a fresh target they can openly and brazenly fight with the arguments built in the previous layers, which at this point are now fully fleshed worldviews. Truth now is the same but not exactly. While before there was the weight of fear and hesitation pulling truth down, now there is an enthusiastic fervor, because at this point it is likely that the beliefs and the arguments constructed throughout our descent have materialized into tangible action, which reaffirms the core beliefs that once needed to be hidden by plausible deniability. The homophobe now has no problem with simply and openly being homophobic. Now let's take one step back and see other practical examples of how that plays out. Racist, I hate black people and I think they're inferior. At this point, that truth is hidden, only occasionally is limping up. Hello B, did you know black people cannot drink milk because they cannot digest it? Absurd, ridiculous, and deniable. Propagates like wildfire. Raw milk is the only healthy milk because it has none of the bullshit and all of the nutrients. Raw milk is how the white, strong, traditional Vikings survived so many harsh winters. Plausible enough to be debated and accepted within online discourse. We are now putting raw milk into every American school so that American kids can grow strong and healthy. The idea isn't even explained, because at this point it doesn't have to be. It seems almost even random. The truth is now proudly out in the open. I think all women should stay home cooking, cleaning, and taking care of the kids. The conservative, right-wing, ultra-nationalist French president is such a girl boss. I love women in power. We should preserve traditional family values for the good of the nation. Yeah, we're banning abortion. It is un-Christian and un-American. I think all women should stay home cooking, cleaning, and taking care of the kids. The truth was very simple. The post-World War II world order is neo-imperialist. The rules that we came up with exist on paper only, and those who get to write that paper are the rich and powerful. America deliberately narrowed the definition of genocide so that other countries could not say that Jim Crow was genocidal. And that is just one of the millions of examples of how the rich and powerful do whatever they want anyways, while we applaud them for it because might equals right. The irony is in that the benefits of the post-World War II world order are tangible and plentiful. The civil rights movements and other advancements made during that time were necessary goods. The post-truth is in the fact that we repeatedly broke the world order, but we felt ourselves justified to do so. We gladly allowed genocide and ethnic cleansing to happen. We gladly toppled democracies and installed fascist dictatorships for our own strategic interest. We massacred whoever stood between us and those interests, all for the sake of capital. The meta truth is in how not everybody is aware of all of that. Many are deluded into thinking change is diplomatic, but most don't see things by what they are. So we gave them something to stare at, hopes and dreams that we can make things go back to where they were by doing what we always did, without hiding it or apologizing for it. Now we arrive at the truth, which is the post-World War II world order is dead. Today, a president needs 2 to 3 months of very weak lies and a couple of social media posts to justify kidnapping a world leader. J.D. Vance said himself something to the effect of, "This was about oil, and the fact we are openly saying it is a good thing." Tomorrow, that effort won't even be necessary. All a president will need to depose a leader is a social media post and a willingness to act on it. As we move away from meta truth, we are entering a period where the youth of yesterday begin to occupy positions of power. The other layers of irony will still exist and they will still be used, but where discourse will lay will be the last layer of truth. Many of us will commend the politicians for their honesty when they declare feminism a mental illness, when they unironically push for segregation, or when they unironically suggest sterilizing minorities. People are gonna be honest, and we are going to applaud them for it. Power without justification and belief without shame will become a dominant political dialect. People will stop pretending that honesty is incompatible with brutality, and that is a political dialect that many of us will embrace.
Rest in peace, my granny, she got hit by a bazooka. Yeah, think about